my MEPS experience, what I went through, how it goes. This video might be long. If it is long, I'm gonna try to cut it up into part 1, part 2, part 3 maybe, because I went to MEPS 4 different times. Once for the exam, 3 times for the actual medical. But I'm gonna get to the story on why I went 3 times for the medical and once for the exam. So yeah, like and subscribe, and here we go. I know I look rough, by the way, because I'm actually cutting my hair soon. My first meeting is on Friday. So, no, Saturday this weekend. So I'm cutting it this weekend. I didn't feel like cutting it during the week and then having to cut it again. But so, yeah. Originally, I was going to join the Air Force, met my recruiter, all that. But during the process, it's like he was kind of taking too long. So I felt like he was ghosting me. So I went to see an Army recruiter that I know. So I called him up, spoke to him, told him my situation. He put me in for MEPS. He put me in for the exam, not long after, like a couple of days after. A close guy I know, so I kind of trust him. So yeah, I had to get to MEPS way early in the morning. Normally, they take you to the hotel, you all come together, you do the exam, and I think they take you back to the hotel. The next day you come for the medical. But I drove to Fort Hamilton. That's where we took that's the MEPS building. That's like Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I drove there, so I didn't have to go to the hotel. Drove there. This was like early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like I was there early because I had to meet the people coming from the hotel, together. So we all had to, line up and do it together. So I was there super early. Me and some other, tour guy, he was joining the Marines. Everybody ends up coming. We all line up, drop your bags, your phones. No phones allowed. No weapons allowed. No alcohol, no drinks. So yeah, dress warm because it is kind of cold inside there. Went downstairs, saw my liaison for the Army, but for some reason the process was taking long. Hurry up and wait is a real thing. Like, it is a real thing. I was waiting there for long. Like, remember, I got there from 5 o'clock. I didn't start my exam, my ASVAB exam, until like 11, 10. Like, that's how long it took. Met the Army recruiter liaison downstairs. There was some issues about, my recruiter because apparently, well, the person I called for, he's someone I know, but the person recruiting me was somebody he knows. But apparently that guy was somewhere in Maryland or somewhere. He was not in New York. So there was issues, trying to find me in the system. And in the system, for some reason, it was showing me I was supposed to be registered for MEPS somewhere upstate, New York, Albany or something like that. So, but yeah, they fixed it. Sat down, had to sit down in the line with other people, waiting to take the ASVAB. Yeah, we just waiting. The guy ended up coming. He started explaining us, what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, how many hours we got for the test, so on and so forth. Go inside the room. It's a computer test, so everything's on a computer. They give you a sheet of paper, which was already down on the laptop, and a pencil to, for working out. So yeah, I did the test, boom, boom, boom. Test took like, I can't remember how many hours or how many minutes, but it's a pretty beefy test. You take the ASVAB, TAPAS, for Air Force, I think, and Navy, I think so. They take another cyber test. So, different branches have different, tests. Each test is different. So my ASVAB test is different from the guy sitting next to me, his ASVAB test. I can have test A, he can have test B. The person next to that person might have test C. So, to cut down on cheating just in case. But I was out. Yeah, I won't say it was a hard test, but I haven't done all that work in a long time. Like, those were like high school. If you come straight out of high school and you were good in, high school and shit like that, excuse my French, but it should be a breeze. It should be it should be a breeze. For those that haven't, been to school in a while, or haven't, polished up on topics like, sciences, mechanical stuff, a little bit of physics, mathematics, arithmetic, reasoning, then you might have to, polish up on your reading, before you go take the test. But the test, it ain't that hard. It's not that hard. I didn't take the cyber test because at that time I was joining the Army. If I went to MEPS, as an Air Force, candidate, I probably would have taken the ASVAB not the ASVAB. I would have taken the cyber test. I think they have an EDPT test. I think that's the cyber test. They do have another test for languages where they make up a language and you have to kind of translate it. They want to see how you translate it and stuff. But yeah, I did the test. I was done. Normally you have to wait for your recruiter to, come pick you up. But since I drove there, boom, 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 I just told them, my recruiter's outside or something. They let me go. So I went. I got good test and I got good scores in the ASVAB test. But my problem is I didn't want the job the Army was offering. It was an IT job, but it was like a help desk job. And in my civilian world, I passed help desk, That was like my entry. I did help desk for like 5 years. So it was like, I didn't want to do it again, You know what I mean? I know the experience might be different, but that's not something I wanted to do. I was supposed to take the medical after they saw my scores. They saw my scores were good. He wanted to, put me in for the medical, but my gut feeling was just, I need to do the Air Force. Like, fast forward, I told him, it's not a right fit for me. So, I'm switching over to the Air Force. Luckily, at that time, my Air Force recruiter hit me up. And I explained my situation on why I took the ASVAB, for the Army, because he was kind of taking too long, honestly. But, he was a cool guy, but he just was kind of taking long. So yeah, fast forward. Now I'm in the Air Force. They transferred my scores. It's an easy thing. They know, they do it on their side. We don't have to do much. Saw my ASVAB scores. So yeah, he liked them. They were pretty good. So he put me in for the medical. This is going to be part 2. He sets me up for a MEPS, which is a Sunday going into Monday type of situation. So go to the hotel, come to MEPS on Monday, you do your tests, they take you back to the hotel, and I think they come back on Tuesday for your medical. But some people don't have to do the ASVAB test. Some people are just for medical. So this time I was here for medical. I'm going to try to include some videos for the hotel. It was a calm hotel. It was pretty cool. Hotel was in Jersey. My first time, I was there with somebody. He was joining the Air Force. Yeah, I can't remember. I cannot remember. He was joining the Air Force. Can't remember him vividly, but I know he was joining the Air Force. We have a meeting with the liaison. He has a whole bunch of people. Other people are still coming into the hotel with their recruiters. Like, they pick them up from all over. They come to the hotel. We have a meeting around like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, where he just basically explains, all right, the hotel rules and stuff like that, what's going to go on. He gives us a ticket, which is our ticket for dinner. And he tells us to come back around 8, 9 for another meeting. So during that whole time in the hotel, there's a swimming pool. I know some places have video games, but we didn't have video games in our place. But we had like board games. I didn't play no board games. I was just chilling. Some people at the bar, so it was a calm experience in the hotel. The food was, I remember some lady, she said food wasn't cooked. Like, the meat was pink. Hey, some people's experience is different. But I didn't have too much to complain about the food. The food was kind of tasteless. No, seasoning. But what do you expect when, you cook it for a lot of people? So you got to understand, some people's maybe blood pressure, salt pressure, might be different, whatever. The hotel rooms, the first night, for some reason, it was cold. It was freezing. And the thermostat was just not working for me. I don't know why, but hey, the next morning, you and your roommate, don't leave your roommate behind. Try not to leave your roommate behind when you're leaving in the morning. You know, try to do this, because that's like the first test. I won't say a test, but that's like the first experience of, you know, being a team, working as a team. So my first night in the hotel, we showered the night before. So we showered that Sunday night so that on Monday morning, we didn't have to wake up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever that time was. Because we had to leave the building at like 5 or so. Like 5, like roughly around that 5 o'clock, we got to leave the building to go to the MEPS building. So the hotel, we got to leave the hotel at like 5 to go to the MEPS hall, which is around 6, between that 5 and 6. So, but try not to leave your roommate behind. That's important. On my second experience, on my third time in the hotel, somebody got left behind. So yeah, and I'm gonna tell you about my roommate that I left behind in my third time I went, because he was bugging. But the first time, you know, you have to wake up at 3. They give you like a wake up call. I think around like 3:30 or something like that. We ignored it because, you know, we already showered the night before. So when we woke up at like 4:45 or something. Quickly washed up. Now we woke up at like 4:30. Quickly, you know, brushed our teeth, cleaned up, went downstairs to eat. You know, there was still much time. There was still more time to, you know, chill and all that. We get into the bus, and then it takes you to the MEPS building, which is in Bay Ridge. Now, if you know Brooklyn, the hotel is just like right after Staten Island. Cross Verrazano, going to Jersey, it's like 5 minutes after you leave Staten Island. And the MEPS building is in Fort Hamilton. We get to MEPS. I'm trying to do my medical. Waiting. Tell me why. They tell me I can't do my medical today because my middle name on my social, the spelling is different from my middle name on my ID, so it needs to match, which is understandable. But it was like, there's no way you can, like, you know, do it, then I come back and you just update the system. But they were like, nah, it needs to match. So the whole long process of going to the hotel and all that, waking up early, that was just a waste. So I told my recruiter, boom, he does it. I go back to MEPS the next week, hotel experience again. This time it was a lady who was my liaison. She does the whole meeting, you know, she explains, you know, dinner time is at 6 or 7. Come back at 8, 9 for another final meeting. Discuss about the food. Don't leave your roommate behind, blah, blah, blah. This was Super Bowl weekend. This is the Super Bowl weekend. And normally, you have to go back to your room by 10. I was at the bar watching the Super Bowl until it ended. And what time did the Super Bowl end? I think like 11 something. I was just chilling at the bar. The lady gave me a bandana, a Tito bandana. She gave me like a Tito cup. You know, she's a cool lady. This was with another person. I can't remember, but he was joining the army. But he wasn't going to basic training. He was going for something like there's something the army does where if you don't get a high enough ASVAB, they like take you somewhere, I think South Carolina, where they help you boost your score. But he was going there. Cool guy. I told him, yo, this is what we're gonna do. With a shower tonight. Tomorrow morning we get more sleep, wake up at so. He was down with it. He was cool with it. So we did that. So boom. And you can't adjust it. Oh, you can't find it. My other room, I couldn't adjust it. At least I know I could adjust it this time. No, calm little bathroom. We get to MEPS. Remember, last week I couldn't do it because of my email, my middle name was different. This week, they telling me, oh, we can't do it because we didn't update our system. I won't say I took it overboard, but I went to the Air Force guy. I was like, yo, can I leave now? Because I've been here for like 2 hours. I'm not, you're not going to check me. So why am I still here? You can see the frustration in my eyes. I was, all that waiting just not to do anything. But they were like, all right, calm down. I understand. Calm down. We'll get you out of here. So boom, boom, boom. They send me out. The guy tells me, yo, word of advice, don't lash out like that, because so they don't want a situation where somebody else sees that I'm, pissed off or something like that, and they report it. They might not have a problem with it because they might understand, but the other person might not understand. So, try to, cool your nerves, calm down, so. All right, cool. I'm going home. I told my recruiter, they couldn't do it again because they didn't update the system. He was like, all right, sorry. He understands. He knows I'm mad and all that. So he's going to, try to book me up for MEPS again. That same day, it was because that was a Monday, right? Remember? They took me from Sunday, come into MEPS on Monday. Later at night, later in the evening, this was like 6 or so, my recruiter calls me. He's like, yo, I could book you for MEPS tomorrow. Down to go? I'm like, sure. Because, I'm tired of waiting. I'm trying to get this process done. So, boom. Same process. I think this was Valentine's Day. Super Bowl was on the 11th, I think. 12th, 13th. It was around that time, though. It was around that time. But, no, Tuesday. I think it was like 13th. It's the 13th of February. They picked me up. Go to the hotel. You know the process. It was the same lady that was there. She saw me during the meeting. She was like, yo, wasn't you here yesterday? And I'm like, yeah. So she was like, all right, cool. You can go. Let me give you a ticket for your dinner. This is your room. You go up. I'm going to try to put videos again for my day 2. And same thing. Nice hotel, blah, blah, blah.